Recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for holding this critical hearing, and really appreciate your ensuring that oversight continues to remain a top priority for this committee. Clearly, the CFPB is the first federal agency with the single mission of protecting consumers in the financial marketplace. So an agency truly on the side of consumers. And now, after years of Republican sabotage, the Bureau's funding structure is under unwarranted attack yet again. With this recent court ruling, if that's upheld, this has the potential to really invalidate previous CFPB decisions and to leave consumers vulnerable. In the home lending market specifically, any disruptions can make it even harder for home buyers to qualify for a loan, disproportionately burdening those who have historically really been shut out of home ownership, in particular Black and Brown communities. Congratulations on your appointment. Acting Chair Grunberg, as you know, the Bureau's regulations provide a degree of certainty and flexibility for banks. So without them, do you think it is possible that we will see the mortgage market constrict and for fewer loans?
Congressman, I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question, because I had some difficulty following it, if you might?
Okay. I want to ask you about the Bureau's regulations, since they do provide a degree of certainty and flexibility for banks. Without these regulations, do you think it's possible that we will see the mortgage market constrict and provide fewer loans?
Well, I do think the consumer protections offered by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau are critical to protecting consumers in the credit marketplace. And if the functions of the CFPB are undermined, it would have consequences.
Okay, thank you. And can you elaborate on how invalidation of the Bureau's rules could lead to instability in the mortgage market?
Well, to the extent CFPB rulemakings provide important consumer protections, and if those protections are removed, that'll have consequences for those borrowers. I mean, that's pretty straightforward, I think.
Sure, a heightened risk of damages, sort of exposure there. I'm also troubled by the fact that the 45 years since the CRA's passage, that people of color are still more likely to lack a bank account and to get turned down for credit. Now, while the proposed rule noticed in May is promising, there's still more that can be done to strengthen the CRA and to address this nation's history of redlining, discrimination, and exclusion. That was certainly at the heart of the CRA when it was first crafted, and this should be our guiding principle as we seek to strengthen it. Vice Chair Barr, because Black, Brown, and AAPI folks have disproportionately been unbanked and denied access to credit, do you think the proposed rule should implicitly include communities of color in the bank's assessment areas?
Thank you very much for the question. I think that the proposed reform, the rule that the three agencies has put forward, strikes a very good balance on this question. Discriminatory practices that banks may engage in can result in a downgrade of CRA activity. And in addition, banks may not, under the rule, improperly exclude communities of color in defining their assessment areas. And the assessment areas themselves are designed to be drawn broadly so that banks could not exclude areas on an improper basis or even on a basis that is a proxy for an improper basis. And I think those kinds of approaches will appropriately make sure that banks are not engaging in any activity that would be designed to, or in effect, exclude people of color.
Well, one thing's for sure, it's really critical that we do modernize the CRA. I do believe by focusing on racial disparities and going beyond simply using income as a proxy for race. You know, we have to be race conscious in our approach to root out this discrimination in our banking system. So again, I thank you, Madam Chair, and I yield back.
Thank you very much.